Welcome to Mr. Penguin's Recaps. Today, I'll be explaining a movie titled Pact de Fuga, released in 2020. The year is 1998. Under the dictatorship rule of General Augusto Pinochet, 120 political members were imprisoned in the Santiago prison for carrying out an armed struggle against Pinochet's military regime. These political prisoners await their death sentence, so they protest for several months to be separated from common prisoners in the prison. They ask to be put in a gallery where they can launch their escape plan. The next scene shows the Santiago prison where the political prisoners are kept. There is a massive uproar in the prison. The guards try to maintain order as they transfer the political prisoners. While the political prisoners move, one of them, Jimenez, gets into a quarrel with one of the guard officers. Moments later, the prisoners are assigned to their new blocks. A man named Vargas walks quickly so he can get a specific room, but the room was already occupied when he got there. Vargas settled for the next room. Soon, Jimenez arrives in Vargas' room and tells him he's chosen the wrong room according to their plan. Each of the political prisoners chose a specific cell according to their escape plan. Days later, Jimenez, Vargas, and Sanchez are taking a walk around the football court. They discuss a store that would be strategic to their jailbreak plan. Vargas doesn't seem to like working with Jimenez. He blames Jimenez for the failed attack on Pinochet and threatens to back out of their escape plan. The two of them hit into a quarrel before they're separated by the third political prisoner. Vargas, being the thinking brain behind the jailbreak, informs them that they would need to get rid of 50-70 tons of dirt for a tunnel to be properly built. Moments later, another comrade asks Jimenez about the escape plan. Jimenez tells him he doesn't know anything about that because he sensed that something wasn't right. It's day 5 of the jailbreak plan. 4 political prisoners in a room examine a wall that is part of their overall plan. They are skeptical that the wall won't collapse when they're drilling. That night, they start by escape plan by scraping the walls with a file to remove the blocks. After scraping for a while, they cover the exposed parts with white pastes. Meanwhile, Vargas is drilling a hole. The next day, more political rebels are brought into the prison. The leader of the political prisoners welcomes them and gives them a tour of the prison. Sanchez notices that the son of a late comrade is among the new inmates. His name is Oscar Lira. Moments later, the prisoner's attorney, Fabiola, comes to the prison to see the heads so they can allow her to assess the prisoner's health. But prosecutor Andrea disregards her and okays her down. Meanwhile, the Vargas is still drilling and Sanchez is collecting the dirt. It's day 11 of their proposed jailbreak plan, and Fabiola is allowed to see Oscar. She informs him that his actions might earn him a death sentence, but Oscar replies that he did not commit the crimes that were charged against him. Meanwhile, the escape masterminds are making progress with the tunnel. As they work, one of them is playing the guitar to cover up the noise they make. But on this day, they encounter a problem. As Vargas makes the cut, extra blocks fall off, and they must cover it up as quickly as possible. Vargas quickly tells them to get a lot of eggs and clean the debris. So, Sanchez, Jimenez, and other comrades quickly go in search of eggs and more newspapers within the prison. The process is not easy. While this is going on, Vargas climbs up to inspect the path. The comrades soon come back with a lot of eggs and newspaper, but coincidentally, the prison wardens are walking around while they do this. They make a mash out of the eggs and newspaper and quickly cover up the hole. The wardens arrive at their room and inspect it, but find nothing. Now, it's day 34 of the proposed jailbreak plan. It's the prisoner's visiting day. Jimenez's wife, Paulina, visits him and brings him a package. Meanwhile, Patricio, the head of the political prisoners, is having a chat with his dad. Patricio seems to have a mood change when he's told other members of the family were unable to visit. Patricio's father then tells him about the package he brought for him. When Jimenez meets his wife, he asks why she didn't come with their children. Paulina replies that she took the children elsewhere to live as she's too busy with work, and this causes them to have an argument. It's day 56 of the escape plan, and the prisoners are watching the television in the common room. Early the next morning, the prison wardens go into Comrade Bigot's room and take him away. In the next scene, we see Bigot complaining to the other comrades about the pains on his face. Meanwhile, Vargas and Sanchez are making progress with the escape plan. As they walk, an officer enters their room, so they quickly pretend till he leaves. As they progress, the comrades communicate with each other using sign language. Everything is going on as planned, the tunnels are in progress and no one seems to suspect them. They dig and pour the debris into the roof. But on the 77th day, the comrades discover that they still have a lot of work to do to achieve their aim, but they lack enough manpower. Day 83 is another visiting day for the prisoners. Vargas' father visits him, but it doesn't seem like Vargas is happy to see his dad. His dad hands over a book to him and leaves. Meanwhile, Sanchez and his wife have had a good time, but she seems worried. At the same time, Oscar's brother comes to visit him. Oscar reproaches him for not joining their cause. After their argument, Oscar's brother leaves. Days later, the jailbreak masterminds are examining the tunnel. Some of them think the plan is not feasible with the way things look. Moments later, the prisoners are in the common room watching the news. They discover that dictator Pinochet will not be impeached, and so they can't leave the prison unless they escape. But at midnight, the news coverage stated that things had changed and the dictator would leave, and this means they had to hurry up with their plan. On the 86th day, the jailbreak masterminds recruit more trusted comrades to speed things up. They instruct them on how the plan would go, and within a short time, they experience massive progress. One fateful day, Oscar codedly tells Jimenez that he wants to be part of their plan as he wants to escape too. Jimenez and the other comrades are left with no other choice than to bring him in. Days later, the political prisoners get to know that some of their fellow rebels attacked a police station, which puts them into confusion. The next visiting day, Jimenez informs Paulina about their jailbreak plan and asks her to be in charge of their outside help. The colonel is upset by this happening because he thinks the rebels inside the prison will start a riot, so he instructs the prison wardens not to allow the political prisoners to start a riot. Suddenly, the sergeant and his men storm the prison rooms and order everyone out. In a bid to buy more time for those in the tunnel to come out, Jimenez starts a riot. Now the political prisoners are lined up in the sun as a punishment for their misbehavior. Soon they start chanting riot songs as the prosecutor arrives and Jimenez is locked in a solitary room. Meanwhile, Paulina is trying to solicit help outside. But the other rebels don't want to help since the years of dictatorship are coming to an end and democracy would start soon. But Paulina is determined to make things work, so she doesn't relent. Days later, Fabiola, the attorney, and Andrea, the prosecutor, informs Jimenez that the court has ruled in favor of his death penalty. At the same time, Paulina is making some progress with getting help on the outside. It's been over a year since the plan and the tunnel is almost done. While leading the tunnel, Jimenez notices that one of the men, Xavier, has fainted in the tunnel due to inadequate oxygen, another problem they had to solve. With help from the outside and the technician in the prison, they solve the oxygen problem by creating a mechanical fan. Then they illuminate the tunnel with electric bulbs. In the next scene, the prison heads and the prosecutor isolate Bigot to have a word with him. They are blackmailing him so that he can provide them with information regarding the jailbreak, but Bigot doesn't know anything. It's almost a year and a half. They are at the surface, and they leave a mark on the same escape route. During the next visiting day, Paulina tells Jimenez that the 120 of them cannot escape and they have to choose. The next day, there's a tremor in the prison. The inmates and those in the tunnel rush out of their rooms. The tunnel cannot withstand another tremor, so the comrades accelerate their plans. Outside the prison, Paulina and other comrades are preparing new passports for the comrades when they get out. The next day is another visiting day. Each of the comrades relates with their family like it's their last time. Now, it is the D-Day, and everything is set. The day they break out of prison. During the relaxation time, when everyone is watching the television, each of the comrades that have been chosen to go stand up to leave. They put on their sweatshirts and enter the tunnel one after the other. When Bigot notices that some of the political prisoners were not in the room, he suspects that something is going on. So he goes to Jimenez's room, but he is blocked by Emilio. Bigot gets Emilio out of the road and goes to Jimenez's room. There he finds Oscar about to enter the tunnel and threatens to report. A fight ensues between Oscar and Bigot. One by one, the prisoners make it out of the tunnel. Oscar kills Bigot, but he is injured. The prison guards notice the tunnel and they alert the other. When Sanchez notices Oscar's absence, he goes back to get him. However, Sanchez doesn't find Oscar, but he makes it back to the bus. Paulina gives each of the rebels their new identification cards. The final scene shows the prisoners leaving the bus in groups to avoid being caught. That's all from the video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for more content like this and hit the like button to help us out. Also, leave a comment if you want us to recap your favorite movie. Until next time, take care.